All right, y'all, it is December 1st, 10:33. Capcom has officially dropped the patch notes for Season 2, basically. And here we go, battle change list. It's about to be a lot of reading, so I hope y'all are locked in. Universal concepts. The purpose of these adjustments is to further balance the game so there will be many changes to tune technique up and down. There are also some adjustments being made that will impact all characters, such as changes to throws and jumps. We've taken a look at defensive techniques that can change a fight too significantly. When the player gets a correct read, this is primarily targeting some attacks with invincibility and low risk techniques that allow for side switching. If these techniques are too strong, the risk of being pushed to the corner of the stage greatly reduces, and the attacking side would also be taking on more risk than necessary, making it difficult to continue with their offensive. So we are making adjustments to alleviate this issue. Reassessing crouching heavy kick on block. We've taken a look at how some characters' crouching heavy attack works after blocking and made it easier to counter attack. With Street Fighter 6, we made efforts to make block crouching heavy kicks easy to counter attack when they're blocked, but due to their range and attack hitboxes, they could become easy ways to launch an offensive plan when used carefully. The difficulty in countering a blocked crouching heavy kick depends on the matchup, but some characters have more low risk cases than others, so we increase the risk of using the attack by adjusting pushback on block and recovery. Adjustments to jump cancels. We made adjustments so that characters cannot avoid a normal throw by using techniques that cause the characters to leave the ground and then follow up with a special move as a counterattack. With this iteration of Street Fighter, techniques that offered big returns against normal throws would be adjusted for balance by doing things like adding scaling, but the above mentioned technique is very difficult to adjust for each and every move. For that reason, we've opted for this global change. This is one way where we're assessing defensive techniques, which is part of our overall plan to tune down certain aspects of the game. We feel that this is a necessary step to enable more aggressive offensive strategies. Please note, however, that jump cancels can still be performed, so this will not affect how players take control of the characters. Also, this adjustment is only for normal throws. We believe that this technique didn't provide a huge disadvantage against command throws, so this change doesn't apply in those cases. If a multi-hit attack is perfect parried, it can no longer be counseled from the second attack and on. Okay, so I can't catch it with... So I can't catch it with a medium. But I can cleanly interrupt it with a light. That's beautiful, yeah. Nah. That's a good change, because what's the point of catching a perfect parry and you still can't get the punish off it because of the second and third hit still coming up? Like, come on, man. All right. The interesting part. The characters. All right. I'm gonna do all of them, but of course I want to start with Ed. You should start with Dee Jay, but good luck. Start with Dee Jay? All right. I'm start with Dee Jay. Adjustment summary. For Dee Jay, we primarily looked at revamping the anti-air capabilities of medium and heavy jackknife. All right, yeah, cause you like, why? You did what I'm saying? Why y'all stripped him like that? You know what I'm saying? But so I'm glad y'all revamping it. You feel me? For Dee Jay, we primarily looked at revamping the anti-air capabilities of medium and heavy jackknife maximum, as well as readjusting Waning Moon's follow-up abilities. Guaranteed counterattacks on the ground, but as an anti-air, it became less reliable than expected. Yes, it did. So to improve that aspect, we've extended the active frames of the attack and expanded the attack hitbox that only applies to mid-air opponents against jumps. If you perform the attack a little early, you'll now see less cases of the first attack missing. Yes. Man, I can't count how many times a mother lover would neutral jump at me and then the first hit would just completely just be going somewhere else. Overhead, okay. In the last balance adjustment, we've added the option of a follow-up attack on hit depending on the situation, but the options Dee Jay had in terms of move selection and range were too strict. So we looked to relax those conditions when landing the normal version, as a punish counter attacks like heavy jackknife maximum are easier to land, and for the overdrive version on hit, quick rolling sobat and double rolling sobat will now connect. Nice. Funky dance feint. Medium punch, feint. We made it more difficult for opponents to respond by making it easier for Dee Jay to snap back with feint techniques Invincible overdrive attacks are no longer guaranteed hits, and it's now harder for normal attacks to interrupt this attack. Wait, so his feint is safe? Is that what y'all saying? It's -3? Oh! You can't punish that no more. It's -3. Oh, that mother lover good now. Oh, that mother lover good now. Oh, that mother lover good now. Let's go. So normally, sometimes I think in the previous patch, Jackknife will probably still miss from at least like right here, right? Yeah. I think it used to actually miss at that range. I could be wrong, but they changed it for sure though. All right, Wani Moon Sway medium kick, which is basically the overhead. Increase the blowback on punish counter. All right, so normally you was able to get medium so bad right here, right? So you can get heavy now. Wait, that is double rolling so bad, right? The heavy version? Yeah, double rolling so bad. Or did I read that wrong? Let's see what's cooking over there. Oh, I'm not liking that. Hold on now. Oh, he got quite a scroll down. Oh, he got quite a scroll down. But before I read this, man, let me just brace myself. Let me just brace myself, man, because it's always the characters I play, bro. It's like, dog, Dee Jay had pages last patch. Now Ed got a few scroll downs. It's always the characters I play, bro. But you know what though? Ed is a strong mid-range fighter, but many of his long-range attacks gave him a good return, and this proved to be too oppressive. God, bro. I'm already hating it. For this balance adjustment, we reviewed the rest of those spacing tools that led to a lot of damage and slightly adjusted attacks and combos used when on the defensive, which will reduce his ability to turn the tide of battle when fighting in close quarters. Standard medium kick, crouching medium kick. Against a lot of characters, this attack was able to take the initiative in encounters, and from a cancel, the damage was good. So we decided to increase the risk when the attack whiffs. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Now on whiff, it's easier for the opponent to take the turn, forcing air players to be more careful when... All right, perfect. Yep, all right, perfect. Kill rush backwards. The hurt box doing the technique is expanding forward, making Ed more... I'm so sick of this word. Other tactics, such as going from a normal attack to psycho flicker, then reading the situation and performing kill rush backwards, are also more vulnerable to a well-placed drive impact from the opponent. So basically what they saying is you can't... Oh, so basically you can't see it and do it no more. You gotta commit to it. All right. Okay, all right. So now I have to actually well space my normal in order to get... I have to really well space my normal. Okay. Jeez. Bro, what? Bro, I am committing to it. I'm backstepping the moment I do the flicker, and I'm still getting hit by it. Crouching light kick. Oh my god, bro. What they did to crouching light kick. This attack featured great startup in range, and on hit it gave you a really nice return. Yes, which made it too good in defensive situations. What you mean it made it too good in defensive situations? Look at his standing jabs. Look at his lights. It's full frame and they go nowhere. Mother lover, you got mother lovers with jabs in this game that goes straight out. Mother lovers got jabs that go straight out. Ed's. This mother lover is right here. Where's the range? So you mean to tell me the actual light that we got, that got the range that we need, you want to change that too? Oh my god. With this adjustment, we made it so that crouching light kick can't hit again on counter hit, so it's harder to get a return when stopping an opponent offense. Please note that there are no changes to this move when used. Bruh. Overdrive Psycho Blitz. Considering how good the return is when this attack lands, we've made adjustments so that Ed can be counterattacked by a light attack when this attack is blocked. I know. Lord. I know. Man, I know. No. I know these mother lovers did not make ES Blitz punishable on block. You gonna need something stronger than water? Bruh. Considering how good this return is when this attack lands, we've made adjustments so that egg can be counterattacked by a light attack when this attack is blocked, and also increase the distance traveled during the first attack. While the risk of canceling during a block has increased, it should be easier to put combos together from a further distance now. Super Art 2. We made adjustments so that the drive gauge reduction for the opponent happens during the final stage of the attack. When starting combos with this attack with edge back to the corner, he's able to get high damage, and he can gradually chip away at the opponent's drive gauge while recovering his own. This gauge disparity gives Ed far too much of an advantage after the combo, while weakening of combo starting attack doesn't change the damage. The opponent can now recover drive during long combos, so the gauge disparity won't be as big as before. Oh, it's like every character I play get hammered, bro. They hammered Dee Jay, not even hammered Ed. And you know what's crazy? People only again, right? Again, when Dee Jay was running the streets in season 1, people only really wanted damage and sway nerf. They turned around and gutted Dee Jay all the way. Ed, from my understanding, they only wanted what? The desync and maybe tether adjustments. Making it easier to whiff punish, standing medium kick, and crouch medium kick, I'm fine with that. But they didn't made it easier for drive impact to land off a button into flicker backstep situations. Like, so it's now +4. I can't do double lights no more like this. Bro. Crouching medium kick, increase recovery by 1 frame. Yeah, basically making it easier to whiff punish. I can't tell, but probably. Yeah. Alright. Kill rush back. Extended the hurt box forward. Yeah, so with that extension of the hurt box forward, that explains why the drive impact is hitting more often than normal. Overdrive cycle blitz. Increase the distance moved forward before the attack comes out. Disadvantage on block change from -3 to 4. Reduce pushback on block. So now we basically gotta hit confirm it. Oh, okay, so it takes drive gauge at the start and it takes drive gauge at the end. But in the process of the combo being performed, it's refilling. Oh, okay. Okay, let's look at Terry. I'm pretty much doing all the characters that I play, so Terry has been given some adjustments to improve his attack proficiency at mid to close range and to brush up some spots we felt were difficult to use. The aim is to make him easier to handle as well as bringing out his personality a bit more. Crouching medium punch. On punish counter, this could combo into heavy power charge for big damage, but there were some ranges where it wouldn't connect, leading to drop combos. We've adjusted it so when attacking the main hurt box, heavy power charge is guaranteed to combo. Okay, cool. So please note that if the attack hits a hurt box that comes out in front of the main hurt box, it still may not connect to a combo. Standing light kick and standing medium punch can now reach targets easier, so your options there are also improved at close range. Overdrive crack shoot, overdrive burning knuckle, super R2 power geyser. There were times when a follow-up attack wasn't always guaranteed when these attacks hit a mid-air opponents, so we've made adjustments to mitigate those situations. We designed this attack so players have an easier time performing it, but that also introduced times when it was performed with slightly incorrect inputs. The conditions for this command input were more lax than what was necessary, and sometimes being performed with completely different commands, such as the KOF input. So the attack has been updated to require a down back. Dang, Terry! Assist combo. Fix an issue where if the second attack lands on super armor, the third attack would not be performed. Standing heavy punch. Change disadvantage on block from -1 to plus. What? What? Boy, they made his standing heavy +1? Bro, that's a poke now. Bro, that's a poke now. Ooh, that's a poke. Ooh, Terry, yeah. Terry rising up. Terry rising up. Standing heavy punch. Overall length of the technique on block reduced by 2 frames. This adjustment was made in order to ensure that there are no timing differences whether the attack is blocked or hits. Increased input buffer time on hit by 2 frames. So now Terry about to get some playtime for sure. Terry about to get more playtime across the board. Boy, that is insane. All them people that was like, oh, they dropping Terry, oh, Terry this, Terry too weak. Watch all them people plus more about to start playing Terry. Crouching medium punch, reduce pushback on hits. Crouching heavy kick, updated so that the attack hitbox that hits a grounded opponent is lower and can't be absorbed by upper body armor. Alright, power dunk, medium punch, heavy kick, heavy kick. Updated the effects and hit sound on a clean hit. Really? Yeah, you know what, that's good, because I swear, it was hard to tell when you really got the just frame. I kind of grew used to it, but it became difficult to tell when that hit. That's beautiful. Yeah, you know now. You know now. Round wave. Overall technique length changed from 53 to 51. Yeah, that startup looks slightly faster for sure. I mean, 2 frames isn't that big of a difference, but it do look like it's starting up slightly faster. And it's basically taking a whole bar once you do button into power wave. That's good. Yo, Terry, man, what happened, bro? Terry got the freaking A.K.I Zangief love. They did it with Terry. Ooh, Terry, nah, I ain't gonna lie, boy. I'm happy I kept playing you. I'm happy I kept playing, Terry. Light power charge. Reduce attack hitbox on the first active frame of the attack. Crack shoot. Drive gauge reduction on block change from 2000 to 2500. Medium crack shoot. Advantage on hit change from +1 to +3. What? Change behavior on a grounded counter hit from knock back to hard knockdown. Wow. Oh. Oh, that's good. It used to just cause a little, you know, when they hit, it used to just, you know what I'm saying, make them kneel down a little bit. Did Capcom just wake up and be like, hey, Terry, we sorry. You our first guest character. You shouldn't be this bad. Or you shouldn't be this balanced. You know, we made a game that's too highly offensive orientated that you need to get some more love. Did they really wake up and just be like, we about to just completely bless you so you could fit the criteria a little bit better? Overdrive burning knuckle. Reduce blowback on a mid-air hit. Change drive gauge reduction on block from 6,000 to 8,000. Alright, level 2. Expanded the attack hitbox that appears only during a combo. Reduce horizontal blowback. Expanded the twin geyser attack hitbox. Dang, Terry. Alright, so Terry so far is a winner. Now we can actually go down the list because we've done all my characters. So now we'll start with Luke. We primarily looked at giving some of Luke's lesser used moves more purpose and reassessing his perfect input combos. While this attack can be hit confirmed and can be countered when blocked, it has comparable range to standing heavy punch, which is also a quick attack, meaning it doesn't get much love in a fight. For this reason, we've looked at increasing its forward moving distance so there's a clear range difference, making it a good option against opponents who are further away. So you telling me that they increased the travel range on his overhead? Oh no, that's his. Oh, I'm tripping. Wait, no. Okay, my bad. Forward medium punch is his overhead. This is his. Dang. Oh my lord. Oh, okay. That's all right. We reobsessed this technique as it didn't give that much of a return compared to other overdrive projectiles. For overdrive sandblast, we removed the hurt box that appears before the attack startup. Removing this hurt box makes it more reliable as its own tool. Additionally, fatal shot had limited application, so we changed its behavior on hit to provide more of a payoff for a player. So y'all removed the hurt box. I mean, okay, it really didn't matter. 9 times out of 10, we normally seen Luke throwing EX fireball from full screen, so we wasn't punishing that anyway. Medium flash knuckle. We re-examined this attack as Luke's perfect input combos lost some of their appeal due to combo scaling on his primary tools, and because you can combo into both the perfect input and charge version from standing heavy punch, now depending on your combo opener you can deal just as much damage as before. Standing heavy punch expanded the collision push box of the first active frame upwards. Standing heavy kick changed the drive gauge increase from 3,000 to 4,000. Double impact forward heavy punch, I for some reason don't know why I thought that was the overhead. Increased the distance move forward before the attack startup, expanded the standby block hitbox, reduced pushback on hit. Alright, so Luke got some love. Didn't get hit with like major buffs, but he got some love. Jamie. Jamie, bro, ooh, bro, oh lord, bro, why I feel like they trying to make Jamie more of a complete character, bro. Jamie will now regain some drive whenever he performs a technique that increases his drink level even when he's not at drink level 4. Okay, so whenever he levels up, he recovers drive also. Another improvement Jamie receives is that the second hit of his jump and heavy kick will now knock down even on a normal hit, giving you a guaranteed return when chasing down an opponent. Jamie gonna be a little bit more complete now. So Jamie got some love. For Manon, we took a look at how much super art and drive gauge she gains from her attacks, as well doing some minute tuning. Will gain more super art gauge according to her metal level. She also gains more drive gauge for her mid-range attack heavy gauge. These are some unique names. Jesus, I am having some issues saying the name of these specials and normals. Standing heavy kick, change recovery on hit from -2 to +1. Level 1 to 2, 2150, no change. Level 3 to 4, 3150. Level 5, 4150. Reen verse feint. Recovery on feint for all versions of the attack reduced by 2 frames. And Grand Forte. Blowback distance on hit reduced. So she's going to be building meter better basically. So it looked like they trying to give her a faster way to get level 3 and have level 5 so it can do more damage. Ain't gonna cap, you ain't gonna like the next character. You know what, Kelvin? I was looking at that, but I was trying to brace myself, but yeah, here we go. All right. Kimberly is a character that's supposed to specialize in offense. Here we go with the BS already. It's like when Capcom starts something off a certain way, they pretty much letting you know that we about to either buff something or nerf something depending on how they start they summary. Kimberly is a character that's supposed to specialize in offense, but she has only a few reliable moves to help her in the neutral, which makes it difficult for her to create opportunities for herself. Due to this, we've made adjustments to help her out. Water Slicer Slide. This attack was designed to nip at the opponent's feet, but even when it landed, it often left Kimberly in a disadvantaged situation, making it difficult to incorporate into anyone's game plan. To help this attack out, we made her recovery during active frames 1 through 4 fixed so that as long as it hits, Kimberly will be at the event. Standing Heavy Punch. This attack was designed to give a big payoff if you landed a good hit on the opponent, but we have adjusted its range to make it easier to use as a standing point of Kimberly's offense. It's now something you can realistically use to force your opponent to block, and combined with the adjustments to arc step, Kimberly now has some great attacks to launch from. In order to balance the move and not make it too powerful, the low position hurt box has not been changed. All right. Crouching Light Punch, change recovery on block from -2 to -1. Crouching Light Kick, change recovery on hit from +2 to +4. Standing Heavy Punch, increase the distance moved forward before the start. Wait, what? Reduce the attack hitbox on the edge of the attack and made the bottom part less effective. The second adjustment has been made in accordance with the first adjustment so that low profile attacks still have the same effective reach against this attack as before. Light Vagabond Edge, change recovery on block from -5 to -4. Wow. Pushback on hit reduced, change the hit back that occurs when the attack hits on the third active frame. This adjustment was made to make it easier to determine whether or not a follow-up attack is possible. Super R2 Soaring Bushin Scramble. Startup for the aerial version made faster only when canceling from an overdrive attack. So Kimberly is a winner. So far we got 2 winners, Terry and Kimberly. So for Marisa, we made adjustments so that her heavy attacks and the chargeable aspect of them are easier to use. We've reduced the necessary charge time and improved the charge attacks abilities across the board to give her a stronger offense. So you mean to tell me she's gonna have faster Gladius now? Forward heavy kick. The required charge time for this attack hasn't changed, but we have increased the forward distance moved during the charge attack, which should make it easier to use after it's blocked. The distance between Marisa and the opponent has been shortened, giving you the ability to continue layering on the offensive pressure. Wow. Look at that distance now, bro. Bruh. Oh, bro. Oh, bro. Crouching heavy punch. We've expanded the hitbox on the charge version, and the throw hurt box before the attack no longer expands forward, making this a good strike option when trying to bait a throw escape attempt from the opponent. In addition, we've increased the float on punish counter to increase its payoff. All right. This is the Superman punch. We made this attack easier to use by mitigating the risk when it's avoided by expanding the attack hitbox and increasing the active frames on the attack. It should increase its range and make it more difficult to be hit out of. The successful charge time for standing heavy punch, standing heavy kick, crouching heavy kick, and melee breaker is now 3. Oh, so it wasn't for Gladius. It was just for her charge normals. Oh, okay. So Gladius didn't change on charge time. It's just her buttons. Oh my god, bro. You coming back to Street Fighter, bro? You gonna still play Tekken? Cause it looked like Marisa might be a winner. Change that to a knockdown. Increase the distance moved forward before the attack start up. Push back on block, decrease. Oh, that's insane, bro. So they increased the forward movement and they reduced the pushback on block. So now Marisa is basically a bully house, a faster bully house, and you not getting away as fast as you think you are. You still gonna be right by me when I hit you with these charge normals. Oh my god, bro. This next character I'm about to click on, bro. Man, I hope they didn't buff her, bro. Lily. The main focus of Lily's updates was to expand her combo routes. Now, if you can choose the correct attacks when landing a strike, your damage or follow-up options after the combo should improve. Desert Storm, forward heavy punch, heavy punch, heavy punch. We made this easier to use in mid-air combos, in particular when drive impact lands for a punish counter. Your follow-up attack options are much better. You can now choose to deal damage while building your win stock, or you can forget about the win stock and forego the follow-up inputs to plot out your wake-up game. By having only the second hit of the attack hit a standing opponent in the middle of the stage, you can follow up with crouching heavy kick or super R1. While in the corner, you can go for another tomahawk buster. You'll need to confirm the situation first, but even if you have limited win stock, you can still extend your combos. Before I continue reading, I was hoping this character got nerfed. That's all I'm gonna say. Wind Cloud Tomahawk Buster. Wait, that is the DP, right? Okay, cool. I'm just wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping. Increase the blowback of the second attack when it hits on the ground. Light Wind Cloud Tomahawk Buster. Decrease the horizontal blowback of the second attack when it hits on the ground. All right, so Lily got some buffs, you know, some taps on the wrist. For JP, we've only made adjustments to his basic abilities, so his changes this time center around his super arts. Level 2, we've adjusted his technique so that the projectile will remain when a normal throw hits for a punish counter. This means activating hits in close quarters will allow JP to apply much more pressure. We've updated this technique so that when Triglaive hits an opponent high into the air, it's easier to combo into the super art. Wow, dang, that's crazy. We made adjustments to Juri so in specific situations she'll have more combo routes, and some of her heavy attacks will give her back more drive meter. Crouching heavy punch, the hit effect when this attack lands for a punish counter on a mid-air opponent has changed. It is primarily a counter attack against invincible attacks, but we wanted to give it different merits, so you can now dish out damage and gain up to 2 Fusha stocks while closing the distance, or go for a combo when scoring a punish counter on a standing opponent for varied results. Heavy Fusha will make this attack easier to combo into from crouching heavy punch when that attack hits a mid-air opponent for a punish counter. For Cammy, we've looked at the attacks that start off her combos, our offensive flow, as well as her offensive overdrive attacks to reduce situations where even if you're at a disadvantage, you can switch sides with your opponent with the correct reads. Crouching medium punch, this attack has fantastic range and startup, but adds lower risk to Cammy compared to other characters with similar moves, so we've increased its recovery and hurt box. Overdrive cannon spike. This attack will no longer switch sides on hit. Thank you! The heavy version featured the same properties as the overdrive version when you held down the button, but compared to the heavy held version, which is only used in limited situations, the quick startup on the overdrive cannon spike meant that its value as a side switch tool was too high. Additionally, side switching with an invincible overdrive attack made the fight less enjoyable for the opponent, and also had the additional disadvantage of being difficult to use for Cammy when she's chasing down the opponent, hence the change. Nice. Depending on where it hits, even on regular hit, it won't matter. Nice. Punish counter is your real mother-loving follow-up now. Ryu. In order for Ryu to further differentiate himself from other similar characters, we looked at improving his stability and his unique mid-range attacks. Whirlwind Kick. While this attack has fantastic range and is great for controlling space, after it hit, it was difficult for Ryu to create any opportunities for himself, so it can now be canceled into a regular aerial Tatsumaki Sun-Pun kick. You'll be also to position yourself in a favorable spot, or alternatively, you can use it as a combo from an overdrive high blade kickstarter. This attack has some issues when used to control space due to its slow startup and disadvantage on block, so we sped up the startup of the attack and reduced the overall frame count to help players use it in different situations. Crouching medium kick, we sped up the cancel timing into special moves, making it easier to combo from even when hidden. With the tip of the attack, you can safely string into a heavy Hadouken to force your opponent to a block string, and for light and medium Hadoukens, as long as you don't delay the cancel, an opponent's drive impact is no longer guaranteed to land, giving Ryu more stability over Ken and Ryu. Spilly unretiring. I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Ryu getting them buffs. Spadonkins. Crouching medium kick. Window to cancel to a special move is now 2 frames faster. Axe kick. Back heavy kick. Change drive gauge increase from 1500 to 3500. Spadonkins. He got a faster donkey kick, Spadonkins. Man, look at that faster donkey kick, man. Man, look at that faster donkey kick, man. Spiller, man, you gotta be happy for these changes, man. They buffing your character, bro. Spadonkins. You gotta be happy for your Ryu changes, man. But we look to improve Honda's tempo triple slap to allow him to bring the fight into close quarters, and we've also looked at improving his damage and mix-up situations with his strikes and throws. Standing heavy punch. This attack can now combo to a regular Tahoe cannon, giving Honda some chunky damage on his strikes. Tempo triple slap. Due to improvements on the hitbox, this attack can now reach opponents better from mid-range, and we've made some changes so that he's in a better position than before when it's blocked. Ocho throw. Command and grab. The startup on this throw is faster, giving his throw game more oomph. Along with the adjustments to his overdrive tempo triple slap, Honda can now force his opponents to a mix-up game, or he can use as a counterattack into a driver. Wow. Oh, that. Dang. They buffed this. That's crazy. Blanka ball. With this update, Blanka doesn't have any major adjustments, but we did look at making the normal and special moves he uses for controlling space easier to use. Double knee bombs, forward medium kick, Originally, this attack was designed to avoid low hitting attacks, but the hurt box around the feet were bigger than the standard size, so we reduced it to match other hurt boxes. Wild Nail Forward Heavy Punch. We felt that there was not much of a payoff when this attack lands normally, so we've increased the knockdown time after it hits to allow Blanka's offense to start easier. Additionally, when this attack hits a mid-air opponent, it offered less advantage than when it hit a grounded opponent, so we lengthened the knockdown time. Oh, that! I thought it was the other button. Doing the overall balance adjustment, we reduced the amount of gauge used by Guile's Overdrive Sonic Cross, level 2. But opportunities to use it and its follow-up attacks was limited, so we made adjustments for those. Combo ability is now more practical, and with more opportunities to use it, it's now a better option to opt for when looking for a good roll. So Guile gets to run rampant a little bit longer, right? Ken's appeal to players is great offense and ability to bully opponents into the corner, but we felt that he was able to do this even on the defensive, which made his comeback potential too strong. Yes, see? When you read the beginning, and they be like, oh, it was made too strong. Oh, we decided that this character needs that. You could tell if it's buffs or nerfs. Ken was able to benefit too much after either of these attacks hit, as he could send the opponent reeling back and then continue the pressure with Drive Rush, which combined with his great combos and throws to make him very scary. For this update, we've left his invincible attacks as is, but after it connects, it'll be more difficult for him to continue with pressure, which should help constrain him of how many opportunities he gets. We've adjusted the hurt box on this move, as this move had more affinity than Jinrai kick at close range. We've also adjusted it to reduce its return, taking into consideration the low risk of this move due to light attacks, adding initial scaling. On the other hand, the amount of drive gauge it gives has increased, so we will still think that it's going to be a useful attack when you're looking to get a resource advantage. They trying to make him a bum like his storyline? No. They ain't gotta gut him like that, but Ken is definitely one of the strongest Shotos for sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's good. All right. Crouching heavy kick, reduce pushback on block. Yeah, I'm happy they're reducing the pushback on these sweeps, because sweeps for some reason, like certain characters, you just can't punish them. So the fact that they're reducing the pushback, that's real good. I hope they did that with Akuma, because something was really absurd with his sweep. Chun-Li. Our main focus for Chun-Li with this balance adjustment is to increase her combo options. Players will now have to read the situation and choose an appropriate option in order to get a good roll. Snake Strike medium punch during Serenity Stream. Due to the faster startup, it has become one of the better Serenity Stream options when also considering its range. Medium attacks hit multiple times on counter hit, meaning from a crouching medium kick, etc. You can go into Serenity Stream and then, if read the situation properly, knock down the opponent. Okay, so Serenity Stream model controls. Kick-based techniques out of this move are now performed by pressing down with an attack, and punch-based techniques are performed by pressing just an attack. Buffs to model controls. Why I gotta feel that they didn't do nothing to Zangief. Zangief is a character that's greatly affected by the jump cancel adjustment. So while his defensive capabilities have decreased greatly, we still think he's a character that's strong enough to compete. Because of this, for this update, we've looked at minor adjustment to throws that aren't used frequently and increasing the meter gain on his stomping attack. Yep, so now we gotta deal with another season of Geef. Last balance adjustment, Dhalsim received a lot of changes, so this time around we're looking at making minute changes. Standing light punch, agile kick, rapid cancel timing into crouching light punch is now faster, and on block it won't trade hits with an opponent's full frame startup. Fixes, basically. He got buffs, and they made his lights what lights should be in this game. When you chain lights together, it's a true frame trap basically. Somebody shouldn't be able to contest in between it, so Dhalsim got what he should have been had basically. All right, here we go. Rashid had the ability to counter strike for big damage in 2-minute situations, so we've taken a look at adjusting that aspect. Yes. Overdrive spinning mixer. The situation, hard work. The situation after hit was far too good for Rashid, as he could use either dry rush or call upon Super R2 Yashar to create great opportunities for himself. Although it'll depend where the hit takes place, it was also possible to send the opponent to the corner while recovering drive gauge, which was too advantageous for Rashid, so we made adjustments to make it more difficult to create offensive opportunities after this attack hits. Super Art 1 Super Rashid Kid. Because this attack is also a powerful defensive measure due to his side switching ability, Rashid's advantage after this hits is now lessened, so it's more difficult for him to lay on the pressure. Side flip, forward 2 kicks. Side flip's adjustment was made in order to make it more difficult for it to avoid an opponent's drive reversal. By combining his powerful cancel drive rush capabilities with side flip, it was possible to have side flip be performed only when the opponent performed the drive reversal. There are other characters who have similar capabilities, but considering Rashid crouching medium kick prowess, the advantage he has after drive rush and his options after drive rush, adding a side flip option into the mix was too big of an advantage as a counter for Rashid. Super R1. So basically all these changes, and I don't see no change to level 2. But they go sit here and smack up Ed's level 2 though. This mother lover still got his level 2. Just as many Eds you've seen just as many Rashids in tournament. In order to give some attention to A.K.I's toxic Blossom combos, we've slightly relaxed the follow-up attack conditions for combos that were previously quite strict and increased her combo routes. Heavy Serpent Slash. Serpent. We've adjusted this attack so that follow-up attacks limitations are relaxed when Toxic Blossom is triggered, giving her the ability to follow up more during combos. As an example, in the corner of the stage, after Overdrive, Nightshade Pulse, Heavy Serpent Lash, you can follow up with any attack other than a super art. If you hit a mid-air opponent with this, the height of their jump will determine if you can follow with Heavy Serpent Slash or not, but this was difficult for players to judge, and if you miss, the opponent will get a juicy counterattack opportunity. So we made an adjustment to ensure that Heavy Serpent Slash will not miss even if the opponent's jump is low to the ground. Akuma's concept is that he's a glass cannon that has high damage specs but low vitality. However, due to Akuma's great mobility and attacks, it was very difficult for opponents to choose the correct option to deal with him, which resulted in Akuma being a more stable character than intended. So we took a look at his abilities primarily in the neutral game. There were many characters who had few ways to counter a defensive Akuma who will retreat and throw out moves to keep opponents at bay. So we slowed down his movement speed when he moves backwards. This will make it more difficult for him to maintain his favored space and also make it more difficult to adjust his spacing. Nice. Yes. Chop his legs off, Sada. Yeah, I'm talking to you directly when I read these nerfs, Sada. Alright? I want you to look into my eyes, mother lover. Alright? I want you to look into my eyes when I read these patch notes and I'm reading about Akuma, alright? Cause when they nerfed Ed, they hurt my soul. But when I read these nerfs for Akuma, I want you to look in my eyes and see the glow that I'm about to have. Oh, I'm a glass cannon. Oh, I got 9K health. Oh, I need to move that fast. He need all that. You touch him one time, he died. Nah, mother lover. Nah, mother lover. He still got 9K health, and guess what? That movement speed got chopped. Hadouken. We've looked at increasing the number of ways opponents can deal with this attack, as it was harder to deal with this compared to other projectiles thanks to its speed and animation. Although it's difficult to react to this attack, it's now easier to hit Akuma using projectile invuln attacks or jumping attacks from range. Oh, so that mother lover can't just throw a fireball and DP so freely no more? Alright y'all, one more character, M. Bison. We've tuned down M. Bison's ability to do high damage combos and to chip away at an opponent's drop gauge. His overall game plan hasn't changed greatly, but we've looked to adjust him so that he doesn't use his high-powered offense to bully his way in. Overdrive double knee press and overdrive cycle crusher. We revamped damage and scaling on these, whether or not a Psycho Mine is embedded, to put a cap on his high damage combo. Additionally, taking into account that Bison can continue with his offensive when Psycho Crusher is blocked while Psycho Mine is embedded, we've reduced the amount of drive gauge the opponent loses. Evil Knee Back Roundhouse. We reduced the amount of drive gauge the opponent loses when they block this attack. This attack allows Bison to move forward while keeping him at an advantage, giving Bison players a lot of chances to use it when blocked. It took a lot of drive away from the opponent, and when hit, they took a lot of damage. This interaction gave Bison too much of an advantage, so we decided to adjust the rail and the drive gauge advantage. Shadow Rise Charge. Okay, yeah, the Rise, that was reversed. This technique's ability to change its attack timing and trajectory made it difficult to deal with, and even if the opponent tried to hit Bison out of the air, there were too many situations where Bison could just avoid the attack and counter. To counter this, we've expanded the overall hurt box from the technique and shrunk the attack hitbox so it loses more often to an opponent's aerial ground attacks. When a Psycho Mine is embedded and Bison performed Devil's Reverse, it was more difficult to keep on the offensive compared to a non-mine version, so we've adjusted his recovery so that after landing, he doesn't have to lose out on a chance of an offensive push even if he has to dash in for it. So damage and drive gauge depletion is what they decided to change on this character. Overdrive Psycho Crusher. Change damage when Psycho Mine is embedded from 2,000 to 1,600. Change drive gauge reduction on block from 10,000 to 5,000. Jesus. Overdrive Double Knee Press. Change combo scaling from 10% to 20%. Nice. Shadow Rise added a hurt box around the feet during the jump. This new hurt box is invincible to projectiles. Adjustment reduced the downward attack hitbox from the 9th frame of the technique until Bison lands. The hurt box around the body is expanded sideways. During the attack active frames, the hurt box around the arms is expanded downwards and sideways. When a Psycho Mine is embedded, the recovery on the final attack on block changed from 23 to 27. When a Psycho Mine is embedded, landing recovery frames change from 9 to 8. Alright, so we won't die as quick when going against Bison. So I think overall, the winner of this patch is definitely Terry. Most characters received buffs, right? And select few got hit with the nerf hammer and most received nerfs. But Terry is like the prime winner. Alright, y'all, so I know this video is probably gonna be pretty long. I read patch notes for all characters. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.